You don't want it to be non-volatile. Here's what you want. You want it to be extremely volatile because that way you know something nobody else knows. I give you 21 years and you can go start a company, borrow money, raise capital, start a hedge fund, create a Bitcoin business, tell your friends, start a podcast, build a life for yourself, get leverage, mortgage your house, change the view of your bank. I'm giving you the ability to do work. 3 things that take Bitcoin up by 100x from where it is today. If Bitcoin is lower than it is right now in 4 years, you should count yourself lucky because you get to buy it. Okay? And by the way, that's not me. That's Warren Buffett speaking. Warren would say the same thing, right? Warren would be a Bitcoiner if he was just 40 years younger. Trust me.
In this video, Michael Saylor discusses Bitcoin's potential for a 100x move. He emphasizes that volatility is actually beneficial for Bitcoin, and that predicting the future isn't the key, referencing his recent bullish prediction of a $13 million base price for Bitcoin by 2045, which he shared at the recent Bitcoin conference in Nashville. According to Michael, the focus should be on how well you can seize the opportunity to build investments and businesses by believing in Bitcoin's growth over the next 21 years. As we bring you more clips from the interview, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more video like this. You can join the conversation by dropping your thoughts, comments, and observations in the comment section below. Everything you do helps with YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel growth. Thank you and enjoy the video.
It's just, I'm probably not so open to the new, telepathic coin when I'm 99, or whatever. I might not be on stage talking about the new thing, but my point is Warren Buffett would say you shouldn't be sad when the price is lower. It's your opportunity to buy it. My second point, if you had a choice in this audience, and if I said, I know where Bitcoin's going, it's going to 13 million a coin, I'm willing to bet $15 billion on it, maybe 50 billion, maybe 100 billion on it. That's what I believe. Now, if I told you it's going to 13 million a coin tomorrow, how do you feel? What would you be thinking? Now, if I told you it'll go to 13 million a coin in 8 years, what are you thinking? Now, if I told you it's going to go to 13 million a coin in 21 years, what are you thinking? And let me tell you, what's the most valuable information in the world? It's not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. In fact, if I told you it was going to go to 13 million in 21 years and it was going to go perfectly linearly with no volatility, is that better than if it goes to 13 million and it goes all over the place like this? And I'm going to give you my opinion. The worst thing is to know what happens tomorrow. If it goes to 13 million tomorrow, the only Bitcoin you're ever going to have is what you have in your pocket right now. And your thought is going to be, damn, I should have bought more. My second thought is, oh, all my family and friends, it's too late for them. They missed it. I feel really awful because I wanted to get them into it. The third thought is, wow, I don't have time to go refinance my house. The fourth thought is, well, how do I start a business and raise $1 billion to buy more Bitcoin? I'm not going to get that done by tomorrow morning. Fifth thought is, damn, I have all this money. It's not on the exchange. I can't wire it because banks are closed tonight. Okay, that's awful news. You don't want that. Okay? If I give you 8 years, okay, you have 8 years, but that's not enough time for everybody to get on board. If I give you 21 years and it's perfectly linear, that's awful too, because every stupid normie person that doesn't believe in Bitcoin, that doesn't understand what you understand, that has no conviction, they're going to get more Bitcoin than you because they're just this. Do you want the stupid, dumb money to buy all your Bitcoin before you buy it? No, you don't want it to be non-volatile. Here's what you want. You want it to be extremely volatile because that way you know something nobody else knows. I give you 21 years and you can go start a company, borrow money, raise capital, start a hedge fund, create a Bitcoin business, tell your friends, start a podcast, build a life for yourself, get leverage, mortgage your house, change the view of your bank. I'm giving you the ability to do work. It's a lever. It's a 21-year lever, okay? Like MicroStrategy has been working 4 years. If Bitcoin had gone from 10,000 to 65,000 on August 11th, on the day we announced our Bitcoin buy on August 10th, we wouldn't be worth 40 billion right now. We would be worth 4 billion right now. You see, so you want the lever, you want the time, and the second thing you want is you want massive volatility. Because, you know, like for example, when Bitcoin went from 66,000 to 16,000, everybody else, you know, had a crap, lost their minds, freaked out, and we doubled down, right? And it was a benefit for us. It was a problem for everybody else. We ripped up. And so you get the chance to prove yourself economically, and you get a chance to prove yourself intellectually, and you get a chance to prove yourself morally and ethically if you live through the volatility. You should pray for the volatility. When it goes away, you'll lose your advantage. And you should be happy that you know where everybody else on the planet's going to be in 21 years. You got a 21-year head start. That's a career. You can make a life out of that. And don't worry about the stuff that comes in the middle. It's a good thing. That's why even when Bitcoin's 13 million, you'd be stupid to sell your Bitcoin and buy the other stuff. The other stuff's always going to be inferior. And the MicroStrategy is simple. It's raise capital from the institutions that have capital, buy Bitcoin, hold the Bitcoin forever. Don't lose the Bitcoin. Don't sell the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital property. Bitcoin is property rights. Bitcoin is ethical. Bitcoin is technically sound. Bitcoin is economically sound. Bitcoin is an instrument of economic empowerment. And the establishment now agrees with you, right? And we all knew it 4 years ago. But it would have been not clear the establishment knew it. The mainstream media in 2020 didn't even cover the industry. And so I think that this is a wake-up call this week to the mainstream and the establishment around the world that Bitcoin is here to stay and Bitcoin is the future.
Government policies have significantly hindered Bitcoin's growth. Michael Saylor highlights 3 key factors that need to change for Bitcoin to reach its full potential and achieve 100x growth. First, regulators must legitimize Bitcoin as an institutional-grade asset. Second, fair accounting practices need to be established. Third, individuals should be able to self-custody Bitcoin, as current regulations from the SEC, FDIC, and OCC do not allow banks to custody Bitcoin. Saylor argues that if banks were permitted to custody Bitcoin, it could be used as collateral, enabling individuals to secure loans and earn yields comparable to Treasury bills, the 550 basis points, essentially risk-free. He points out that once the government and regulators fully embrace Bitcoin, banks will follow suit. Saylor also references the shutdown of Signature and Silvergate banks by regulators, which were pro-Bitcoin institutions, as examples of the current regulatory environment. He believes that full acceptance by the government and regulators would drive Bitcoin's price to 100x. Let's get back to more clips from the video.
3 things that take Bitcoin up by 100x from where it is today. The third plank is we just need for the SEC, the OCC, the FDIC to allow banks like JP Morgan and Citigroup and Goldman. But by the way, you might not like JP Morgan because of what the CEO has said. But let me guarantee you that within a year or 2 years of when it's possible to custody Bitcoin, JP Morgan will start a process to do that. And within 4 years, they'll be custodying Bitcoin because it's money and that's what they do. So you want a world where Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, JP Morgan can custody Bitcoin, because if they can custody it, they can buy it for you. And if they can buy it, they can sell it. And if they can buy it and sell it and custody it, they will give you a loan on it. And they will also give you yield on it. I think that the banks will give Bitcoiners 550 basis points risk-free when they can custody the Bitcoin. And so the world would be very different if you got paid 5% interest on your Bitcoin while you're actually holding the Bitcoin. And I think the other thing is they will give you a loan at SOFR, which is 550 basis points plus 50 basis points spread. So you can get a loan of 6% from Citibank or Bank of America when they can custody the Bitcoin. And then the third thing is they'll let you post the Bitcoin as collateral against your house or your mortgage, and you'll be able to I think refinance your mortgage maybe to 100% loan to value or 120% loan to value by putting the Bitcoin as collateral. Like right now, if you go to some of these banks and you had a $5 million house and you wanted to borrow money, they might say, well, I can loan you 70% or 60%. I'll loan you $3 million against the house at the best interest rate. It used to be 2.5%. So you want to borrow the $3 million. What they would say is, I'll give you a loan for $3 million against the house, or I'll make the mortgage $5 million if you post some securities like Apple stock. If you want to post T-bills or Apple stock or the S&P ETF, they will give you a $5 million mortgage at 2.5% interest. And you could have done that with those institutional grade assets. Imagine a world where you can top up your mortgage with Bitcoin, borrow at 3 or 4 or 5% interest for 10 to 30 years, right? And what's the requirement? The bank's got to custody the Bitcoin. They got to recognize it as an asset that's just as good as Apple stock, just as good as a T-bill.
That's our video for today, featuring Michael Saylor discussing the importance of volatility in digital assets and the bullish potential Bitcoin could achieve with the right regulatory environment. What are your thoughts on Saylor's insights? Share your comments and observations in the section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Thanks for watching.